right, welcome to Two Girls, One Bag. You didn't like that? You guys weren't in
Not what we discussed. Yeah.
No. Did we discuss something different?
Yeah.
All right, we're a little.
Go my own way. As long as I stay under 15 seconds, you can't copyright us.
That's true. I heard about that.
As long as I'm singing it, it's a cover.
You just do covers of all like most prolific songs, like Bohemian Rhapsody.
I was thinking more like
Jay-Z.
Like New Age Mozart, like my ass and my anus. Finally famous.
Is that New Age Mozart?
Well, that was a good segue. Yeah, so I am here to accurately talk about something that people are now just hopping onto because of TV shows like Bonding and movies like Two Girls. Two Girls, One Cup.
It was not a feature film.
It wasn't? I swear.
That was an internet exclusive, straight to video.
I swear, it like my uncle's basement looked like a movie theater when I was a kid. Jokes. So, anywho, we're going to be talking about fetishes.
Ooh.
Because it is the tea, hunty.
I do like feta cheese.
That is a fetish.
Fettuccine?
No, I'm joking. That's not. So the reason I'm bringing it up is because I recently had my little bout as I would consider myself like a baby dominatrix.
Baby dom?
Baby dom. I was a baby dom. And didn't last long. Found out that he wasn't the right fit for me. I wasn't the right fit for him. But it was a awesome experience. Like, fucking amazing experience. Like,
Learning experience.
It opened my whole world to fetishes. I've always been, like, super, well, you guys know, like, hypersexual and open, like, very sexual positive.
Yes.
But I never really...
Indeed.
Indubitably. But I never really was... Well, I'm happy you've noticed. But I never have been, like, really face-to-face with anything. I mean, I would consider most of the stuff that I've done is vanilla.
Wow.
On the scale. Yeah, on the scale of, like, being a dominatrix, I was, like, I thought I was into kink shit, but apparently eating ass is vanilla, so... There's a whole nother level.
That's the first step to anything.
There's a whole nother level to it. So yeah, I want to not just talk about fetishes, but just talk about more of the dom world and like my experience that I had with it. Because I think it is a great topic.
Interesting.
So I'm like started off, like I wasn't trying to be a dominatrix. I never it kind of just like fell into my lap.
That would be an interesting thing I guess people do try to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, not
sure.
that there's anything wrong with that.
Try to do what?
Well, you said you weren't trying to do it.
No.
It just like happened, right?
Right.
But like, I would be so interested to hear somebody who was like, yeah, this was my passion. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole being around him, he's opened my eyes to so many things. Like, he sent me so many, like, groups of women that on Facebook where they are considered the black femme doms of Orange County.
Yeah. Wow.
So there is a presence. There's a culture out there of these women. Yeah.
Like
that's cool.
Facebook group?
Yes. Yes.
They organize.
Yes,
and they publish.
yes. And he sent me so many articles on like what it like actually means to be a dom and like what it means to have a slave or a submissive or like there's just so many different levels to it. A brat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like a lot of different
like subdivisions,
yes.
levels of it. Yeah.
There's a lot of different
like within that situation,
which is awesome, which makes it even more awesome because there's like it's like a buffet. There's a little bit for everybody. Yeah. Like if you're not into like actually hurting someone, you're not like a masochist or a sadochist. Like you don't want to be hurt and you don't want to hurt someone, but you want someone to do your laundry. There's a spectrum for that.
I do. I would like that.
He came over to clean the house because he was like ready to do it. I fucked up. No, I didn't fuck up. It just didn't work out. I was super busy at the time. I'm still super busy. And he wanted a full-on dom.
Yeah.
And like he wanted to be my slave in the sense of like he would be at my house. Like he wanted to wake me up. Like he wanted to like
different for him, obviously. so he was more like invested in the fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, no, he actually participated in it. So he lived in New York. He's from New York.
But like between your guys' interaction, it seems like he was like very invested.
He was the one who was, like
being
writing more on it.
Yeah.
And you were still kind of like learning that more dominant.
Yeah, completely.
I think that's like a difficult transition to be like, oh, you're just going to be my
to
dog,
jump right
you know
in.
What I mean?
Yeah, that seems.
Yeah, no, completely.
Because I remember we had that conversation, and it was kind of interesting that this man would just come over and like clean their house. But yeah, I mean, I was like, well,
sweet deal.
But I mean, it is just you're completely learning, and then it seems like a lot of work.
It is, and that's the thing.
Because you were talking about making like spreadsheets and schedules.
Well, now I'm curious because
thank you.
Since we're talking about it, like, Cece, have you ever been in like that situation, either being like the dominant or the sub, and like how was that for you? Or like, what are your thoughts on it? Is it something that you've ever had any interest in?
I definitely have interest, especially more that I see Yaya, like dabbling in that.
But for more than just the coins.
He's talking about fucking.
No, it's not just about fucking, just to have that dominant role.
It literally has nothing to do with sex. And that's another part of it. Like, sex is something that happens, but having that type of dom and sub relationship has nothing to do with sex. Most doms do not engage in sex with their subs. Most doms will peg their subs, but they don't have sex with them because that's a vulnerable state for the dom. And the dom needs to always be in control.
I want to ask a question, but I think it's going to get me in trouble.
No, this is a free space.
If they're getting paid, like...
Are they gay?
Not are they gay, but like...
Isn't that sex?
Going on with like...
No, ask the question, because I've done a shit ton of research.
I'm very...
Humiliation is a big thing, too.
Well,
that's the one I
can't,
it doesn't
that
click.
comes out to is like...
It could be like...
humiliation.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just from like a straight person, like a straight dude's perspective. Like, there would be nothing more embarrassing than getting like raped by a dude or something.
Or like a chick with a strap
on. Or like
on.
more degrading.
But that's not true. See, that's a huge stigma. Your prostate for a man is like their G-spot.
Right.
So every man, no matter if you're straight, gay, or bi, should be open to sexually stimulate that.
And getting pleasure.
It has nothing to do with that. I think from
We're not talking about that. We're talking about this like specific interaction of how it's happening.
Getting pegged.
Right,
like
but
their specific one.
Right. So from my sub in specific, he's a complete straight man. Doesn't have any type of attraction to men at all. And for him, it's a vulnerable state to be bound up, not have control of your limbs, and have someone in your complete trust is in this person and saying that you were going to
just allow them to penetrate your anus.
I understand to the limits of my mind on this subject, just because like I have never experienced it, so I only know to like the point that I have reached in my own personal interaction.
Yeah, and that's why you should ask questions, because our viewers and our listeners don't have these same questions as well, and so that's why.
I mean, it's something I find like in that, obviously like everything's a microcosm microcosm, and looking at each individual parts of what like each person that's done this or is interested in this or finds like some form of pleasure.
Do you think it's weird?
I don't think that it's weird. It's not for me
to be a dom or a sub.
No, I mean, I think I like a more dominant person in general, but I also have been in those situations where it's like, oh, I'm dominant and degrading. I was like, nah, I'm not into that.
I haven't been in like a formal situation, like a dom and sub.
I like that.
But I feel pretty dominant in the bedroom in that sense. Like in a relationship, I like that. But then it kind of depends on the person, because then I also like to be more of the submissive. So I'm like a switch, basically.
Yeah, because I'm kind of the same way where I'm a dominant person just in general.
Right.
But like in a relationship.
And I like doing that in the bedroom.
I just want someone to be like, hey, do this. And
but then
I don't
sometimes
think
not.
about
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, we're going to do this. I'm like, great.
So for me, it was difficult because I need to be the submissive in a relationship. Not necessarily like on that type of level, but I like to be like taken care of. I don't like to lift a finger. I don't like to...
because you're dominant outside.
I'm completely dominant in my regular day-to-day, just like who I am as a person. So like sexually and emotionally and in an actual relationship, being submissive is my thing. So I felt it was very conflicting to have any real emotions to this guy. So he he has done DOMs in the past, professional DOMs. Like, they have a dungeon, like the full-on bonding thing, one-on-one.
Because he
lived in New York in the 80s and 70s.
Actually, here's the numbers. In case
I have
you'd
a
like
business
to
card.
verify.
I have references.
So he's used to a way more advanced type of relationship. So because of that, he was saying that he's always used to seeing his DOMs as a product, something you can buy, and it can cater to exactly what you kind of experience that you want. Well, for me, because I didn't have any like real emotional attachment to him, I was becoming like more and more detached to him. The more I interacted with him, I was like becoming more derogative, more short with him, like more irritated when I saw his text. And so it was because I was becoming more detached emotionally, and that was like the biggest thing for me.
Well, that's like the kind of
Point,
pleasure for them, I think, is that like
that's what I thought too.
To them, you're like everything, and to you, they're an item. I think that's the intention. I mean, obviously, I don't know.
But no, you're 100% right. But the thing is, you're both sides.
That's the pleasure.
Right. So he's getting pleasure out of it, and I'm not. I'm getting disgusted with him.
Yeah.
I found out that the whole purpose, which makes it copacetic, is if both sides are getting pleasure from the experience. Now, yeah, it's cool. He brought me lunch at work, kissing my feet in the parking lot, wanted to come clean the house. Like, yeah, that's all fucking great.
No parking lot?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, "You're not gonna let me kiss your feet?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, you're right."
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Here it is, sir.
I was like, da 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 da. Yeah, so, I mean, there is perks to it, but on a whole, did I find pleasure from the relationship? I was more drained from the relationship
Because you felt like he was expecting a lot out of you.
Yeah.
In like return for his.
And then
actions.
there's some times where this is super interesting. I would be having a bomb ass day, and he would text me, and I got to put myself in this mind frame to be a bitch. And it's like, as much as I would like to think being a bitch is fun, for me, honestly, I thrive on being happy. Like, when I get upset, it's hard for me not to be upset anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not something that I play with. Like, would you guys agree? I'm a pretty jovial person, and I try to be that way. And when I'm not, I feel like it's very apparent. Like, when I have an attitude, when I'm being bitchy, when I'm being rude.
No, yeah, it's no secret to nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
It's
know that
never
one.
been a secret.
Okay. Well, it's not often.
No, we know. I'm like, ooh.
When it is, it is.
See.
That's something that I've learned. Yes, I think it's a multitude of things. Here's the thing the biggest thing I took out of it. It's a serious thing. It's not at all like how it is on TV. As much as I wanted to beat that old white man from my ancestors.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
Okay.
As much as I was like, this is reparation and this is the only time I'm going to get it.
My God, we're going to end up on Fox. Where I'm coming from is I could get into it, right? I think I could. I think I could be interested. But I think that I don't actually want to be degraded. Just like, maybe like, oh, like,
I don't want to
come
be
over-
degraded, but I would
come
degrade.
over here and do this right now. I'd be like, okay, I'm into this. You know, like, I would be into that.
There's different levels to all of this. Just like any kink or any vanilla shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm
there's
not
different
hardcore.
levels to
I'm
it. Like,
definitely
you
not
can,
rock and roll.
there's people that have missionary and there's people that get like fucking plowed in their fucking ass and their pussy at the same time. So, I mean, there's different levels to
Talk
like,
about Cece like that. You didn't have to look her in the eyes.
I glanced. I didn't look her in the eye. And I was just trying to like give equal distribution.
There's girls whose guts is all rearranged.
That was me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's my bitch. She better be. Shit.
She's shitting out her pussy.
That happens too. Never to me. But yes, like there is different levels to it. So if that's where you want to start, oh my God.
Sorry, it's funny, okay?
Or you think you're funny.
I guess we'll find out when the reviews start rolling.
Yes, that's true.
And comment and subscribe.
And be like, that black bitch saying she want to beat a white man.
And I don't like it. I'll like that comment.
I know they like it. They're
thumbs
into
up.
it. They want it.
I don't think that I could be in that situation where
I could do it.
you
I
do
could
it.
be
Like,
a dom.
I've tried it.
Be a dom or be a sub. Be specific.
Be like a dom, especially in that sense. But like, even like in general, I try to be like, yeah, come over here. And I just don't think that, like,
you're more of a
pull
sub.
that vibe. I don't think I pull it. Like,
come here, bitch.
Come over here and spread.
Okay, but I mean,
lick
that's
my
fine.
boots.
That's fine, but we're not going to kink shame on this podcast. Like, that's something that I will not be.
Like, it doesn't feel natural to me. And I don't think that it comes off natural. That's what I'm saying. The reason that I say that is, like, I don't have the personality to pull that off. And it's not something that me doing, I find attractive.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like, it's not something that, like,
you're completely
gets
opposite
me
of it.
interested. You know, I wouldn't be able to be like, come over here. And just like the idea of me being like, get it bad and like take your pants off. I just don't know. I'm like, take the pants off.
So you would be, do you think you identify more as a sub then?
I think if I were to fall into any category, I would.
Would you like someone doing that to you? Like, you want those?
Like, I enjoy the machismo.
I do too. I like it too.
The, like, oh, like, I'm gonna, like, make the decisions.
But, like, sometimes I like to be more dominant.
But, like, on lighter things, like, where we're gonna get to dinner.
I, like, never like to be dominant in relationships. Like, ever. Like, I don't like being on top. I don't like. We've talked about that.
Yeah,
like, my favorite
tiring.
position is laying down. Mm-hmm. I like feeling like you're like raping me almost. Like, I feel like you're taking it from me. Like, I don't like to be like, I'm gonna take you down. No.
Sometimes I like it.
I don't
really
like
depends.
that. To me,
I think I lean more.
To me, that doesn't do anything to me. I want you to be like, oh my god, what are you doing? Not like, get down, little bitch. Like, no, I'm not. That doesn't turn me on. And so, like, that's what this guy wanted and consistently wanted, and which was fine, but A, he wasn't paying me, so in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get chores out of him. But I couldn't wrap my head around, I just didn't want to be around him. He asked me, he was like, have you ever been in, because remember, I was like faking like I've done it before, because I didn't want to scare him away. I always want to try this, so yeah, super down. So,
extending the truth.
He was, yeah. So he was basically asking me different get to know you questions, and one of them is, do you like to hurt your subs? How involved were your subs? How many subs did you have? And I'm like basically lying. I'm just like taking my exes and making them my subs. I'm like, yeah, I had 2 subs. Both names started with M. Horrible pieces of shit. You know, like
I used to beat them.
Yeah, I used to beat the fuck out of them. I hated them. They
cried like little bitches.
One of them was fat. One of them was old. Like
so specific.
And so
here's a picture of the rings I used to beat him with.
Yeah. You see that car? They bought it for me, piece of shit. Anyway, my car's a piece of shit. So one of the questions he asked me was I intimate with my subs? And I mean, I don't turn head down from anybody. So I was like, you know, if they were good, then I would let them like eat me out. But like, I would never let them touch me.
Aside from eating you out?
Yeah. But that's like rare. That's like twice a year. In my head, I'm like, that's like once every 3. Because I wasn't attracted to him. Like, I didn't want to see him. Like, when he showed up at my job, he was like just so, like, I was so embarrassed. Because he was so like servantly, like a servant.
Oh, that's great.
Like, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like, he said, like, this ancient old white man is like.
That's great.
See, and like you would think, I don't know, I thought like in theory, I thought it was great, but in practice, I was just so embarrassed. I want to be seen with a man that's like a fucking boss.
Right.
Like with a man that's like wearing a 3-piece suit with like a handkerchief in his breast pocket. You don't
want an old slave. You want like a younger slave.
I mean, that's true, actually.
Is that the term?
Right.
Slave, right?
I guess.
Well, there is slave, there's brat, there's sub. A sub is like what you're describing, where you're just like.
He was more of like a slave.
He was a slave.
He was a slave. Yeah, he was 100% slave.
Classified.
Like he wanted like me to own him. Like he wanted me to get him a collar. So like after a certain trial period, there's this type of lifestyle where you would get a collar. Like remember the guy in Bonding?
Yeah, like to prove possession.
Mm-hmm. And so that means he can't be with anybody.
Prominent in like the gay community.
Oh, okay, cool.
They'll wear a collar. I mean, not my thing.
But they wear a collar more for just to show like the bonding side of it, right? Not like the ownership.
Well, no, it's supposed to be ownership. Like
okay.
Like the.
Like you belong to that person?
Like you belong to somebody. Like you wear your collar.
Remember he was sending me like jewelry? Like he wanted me to own him. Like he was down. Like he was 100.
Him to buy it.
He was going to.
He was buying dog collars for himself though, right?
From Etsy, he was looking for like handmade fucking like collars and shit. From Etsy. There's a see, that's a whole nother spectrum of it.
Do they got those on Amazon?
You should just make something.
There's a whole profitable side of it.
Amazon.
There's a lot of people into it.
Just MacGyver some kind of collar and like sell it to them.
A lot of people into it. So yeah, that was basically biggest downside of the aspect of it.
I think I could do it. I think I could have a relationship
Well,
like
for
that.
anyone
Like a
out there that
slave.
wants to do it, fetlife.com is it's like the Facebook a fetish life. So there is out there, you can put a profile up and meet somebody. One thing I do recommend if you are going to start going into this lifestyle is when you are going to meet this person, ask them to take a picture of their driver's license and send it to you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Also do like a video chat or some type of Zoom call beforehand. It's basically sex work. It's considered a form of sex work on the level that he wanted from me. You can definitely have a dominant partner or a submissive partner and in your own private home.
Yeah, I think this is a whole separate entity, though.
Of course.
That's like
Of course, yeah. And so, especially since I met him online, and I didn't meet him on FetLife, I met him on Hinge. So in my mind, I went to my typical old ways of meeting someone just normally, like just accepting, not doing the precautions before. Thankfully, nothing was weird about him. He didn't look any different. But when you're getting into this sector of dating, it can get a little bit more dangerous. Because you got to understand, you're talking to people who are into things that most people consider taboo. Not saying what they're doing is wrong, but they can be people that don't think like everyone else. So just be cautious.
Yeah, makes sense.
More
Makes
aggressive form of passion in certain.
Or passionate, I would say.
Let's talk about the BDSM quiz. I know you've taken it. Have you taken it?
I'm a Christian. I've never taken it.
You've never taken it. Okay. There is one that's like how vanilla are you?
You did take it.
I did take it.
Okay.
You did take it. See, there's things on there like, being in a cage and be treated like a dog.
Yeah, pretending you're an animal.
I'm more into.
What is it, furry?
I'm into that because then I don't have to look at you. I don't do nothing. You're just sitting there and that's fine with me.
You can
can we talk about what our results were?
I don't know if I have access to that. I remember it.
Save it.
I remember
it.
I 100% saved it.
How do you know how accurate that is? It's not like Bible.
No, I know, but I also remember it.
Favorite position, laying down. Favorite sex type, necrophilia.
So my top two, my first one was exhibitionist, and then
You like to fuck outdoors?
voyeur.
She just likes to be seen.
You like people like
I like both. I like being seen and watching, and then I know
to
switch.
watch you do it.
Maybe I do.
I'm not.
Do you want to know what my two were?
What?
My first one was voyeurism and then exhibitionist. So we're like the complete opposite.
Well, not the complete opposite, but our top two were flipped.
Yeah.
So, like, my number one was, like, being seen, and then my number two was watching. Her number one is watching, and then her number two is being seen. But I know that switch was really high on them, so meaning, like, I can do both.
I don't remember what my third one was. That's just the two that stood out in my mind. That was my first two. Do you remember what yours was?
I think it was supposed to actually.
Was it really?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Well, for anyone out there, you can take this quiz online. It is, I think, just BDSM quiz. You just Google it. I have my results right here. Yeah, BDSMtest.org.
We're not posting a link.
I have it right here. We can post the link. I have my test results. I do have my test results. Literally, slave is my last one. Look at it. Like, slave is 3%.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow, so there's a chance.
No.
On another note, are cancers considered crazy? I think
They're
are.
emotionally crazy.
From the zodiac signs, right?
They're very emotional. Very emotional.
But they're
Ruled by
lovers.
the moon.
But they're
Lovers.
great. They're the great lovers, right?
They're lovers, yeah. They're
I
great
think
lovers.
Virgos are the best.
Have you dated a
lovers.
Cancer? Is that why you're
Yeah.
speaking that way?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Virgos are the best lovers.
Virgo.
I think Sagittarius is the best of the
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, actually we are. No, we're actually pretty
How
bad.
funny, I'm like 50% vanilla. Literally.
I believe it.
50%.
We see your.
Well, let me ask you guys. Okay, let's play a little game right now. Okay, do you consider this vanilla? Yay or nay? Okay,
Right.
let's say.
Should we like raise one hand or the other? Like
close, or we should like write on a piece of paper and close your eyes and lift your hands or something, or like
It's a lot of work.
I mean, I can do it for you. Do you have paper?
Can we
I can
say
just
yes
like.
or no?
Well, I don't
Yeah,
want
let's
either one
just-
of you guys to influence each
Okay,
other.
let's just close our eyes and raise our hands, and then you.
Okay, yeah.
ask
So
them.
left
Are you
hand.
gonna close your eyes?
Anyways, okay. So
Okay, vanilla.
vanilla, not vanilla.
Got
Vanilla,
it.
not vanilla.
Chocolate.
Let's go.
All right, so close your eyes. Now, okay, so the
Wow.
first one that we're going to do, blood play. Do you think that's vanilla or not vanilla?
What? Blood play? Rock and roll.
Okay, so can I tell you guys something? Blood play, consider, you can open both of your eyes. You guys are so...
Like when you fuck when you're on your period?
That is also considered
I'm not
blood
down.
play.
I'm not down.
So I don't mind.
I don't have a
just
period
gets a little
anymore, so I
wet.
don't
It's a whole different thing in that community.
No, I'm just saying that's included in it. Blood play
Yeah.
could be a lot of different things.
Well, I don't think that I'm gonna bone a chick on her period either.
Okay, so we go both right. That's considered not vanilla. Alrighty, 1 for 1.
Alright.
Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes.
Wait, are you voting too?
No, I know
She
these.
already knows.
I
She's the one
know.
asking the questions.
So the next one we're going to do is deep throating. Do you consider deep throating vanilla or not vanilla? Okay. Good. We're both on the same page. Okay, we know stuff. Alrighty, now we're gonna get a little tricky. We're gonna get a little tricky. Do you consider anal vanilla for straight communities? Just throwing that in there. All right. In the straight community, anal is not considered vanilla. That is considered being a kink.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think it's considered vanilla. Though.
Kink? I feel like it's not.
It's not a kink.
Far
But
the range of
It's not a kink?
Yeah, it's a kink. Yeah, it's a kink. No, you're
I think
right.
if it counts as a kink, then it doesn't count as vanilla.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Correct. Alrighty, one more. Let's do one more.
Okay.
All right, close our eyes. Let's see if I can think of someone that's a little different.
Worst.
Okay.
Proves.
Alrighty, ready? Is fisting considered vanilla? Fisting.
Okay, this is like
In the
what
straight
color
community.
Is this?
In the
Is
straight.
it straight? I think in any community it's fucking rock and roll.
Yeah, that's not vanilla. That's true.
Yeah, nobody's getting a whole fucking forearm in them. You ever watch one of those videos? It
Yeah,
is
Floyd
horrifying.
Mayweather, that booty hole.
I mean, I get that people must obviously enjoy it, but like, that's a lot.
Alrighty. Let's close our eyes.
Another one? Okay.
Do we consider blindfolding vanilla? Very good, both of you. Yep, very good. Let's see. Fucking while someone is asleep in the room with you.
So someone you're not fucking.
Let's
is
say you're in a
asleep.
living room like this size.
You're
You're
fucking
tucked away
someone
in a
who's
corner. Yes, you're fucking. Yes, you're not Bill Cosby anybody.
Definitely done that.
I think that
It doesn't matter if you've done it or not. Is it considered vanilla
I think
or?
that
Is someone
Right.
sleeping? Oh,
Right.
that's a hard. I'm gonna say it's. But I don't know. I feel like maybe.
So you're fucking.
Are your
in
eyes
a
open?
different
His
part
His
of
eyes
the-
are open because he's doing this.
Hey, what the fuck?
He's like he's doing this. He's thinking he's slick, and he's literally like, yeah. So
I think okay. I don't think it's a big deal, but I don't think it's vanilla.
So you think it's a kink?
I guess, yeah. If someone's
but-
sleeping, I feel it's different if someone's awake and watching you versus someone sleeping. Someone sleeping is like you're just trying to be sneaky. Like, oh, I hope they don't wake up. But that's kind of kinky.
Yeah, that's
I
also
think that's a
kinda
little
kinky,
kinky. Yeah, that's kinky.
though,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go with.
It's not vanilla.
It's not vanilla. Okay,
It's not
good,
vanilla.
good,
It's not
good.
vanilla.
Okay, good.
Yeah. What
I'm like, I'm like, that's normal, right?
No, not vanilla. Not vanilla.
This bitch got
It doesn't matter if it's wrong or not, but it's just like not vanilla.
Yeah, it's not about wrong or right.
I mean, she'll get it when she need to get it. Let's just say.
What?
If she needs it, she'll get it.
She's always.
You could be over here like, fuck, is there an earthquake?
No. I'm not raping any sleeping.
No, I'm talking about being the
She
third
called
person
it
that's
Bill
asleep.
Cosby.
Okay, so one last one. Close your eyes.
Yours looks like a
Well,
wiener.
Ty's cheating, so
Smoke play.
You are such a bitch.
Smoke play.
What's smoke play?
if I don't know what it is,
I've
I'm
seen
gonna
like
go.
a lot of things. I know like in the community, there's a lot about like ashing cigar. It's like ashes into. Like,
There's a
Can you
there's so here's
blow
the
smoke up the asshole.
So here's the thing, guys. When I'm mentioning these different umbrella terms like blood play, smoke play, foot play, it's
It
not just
encompasses a
one
lot.
thing. Yeah, it encompasses
just
a lot.
anything with smoke.
Right. Do you consider smoke play vanilla? Okay, so it is considered vanilla
Smoke
What?
play? What is smoke? I don't know.
because it doesn't actually have to do with penetration yet. So it is considered smoke play.
So if I smoke something, I blew it on you.
like someone's
Is
getting
that-
like turned on by someone's hitting a cigarette in front, kind of like a foot fetish. Like
Oh.
there's porn out there, whereas women just like talking to the camera and just smoking a
Really?
cigarette. Yeah.
We're never posting. No, but like
Oh, my
there
Lord.
is something that like it's kind of hot about it, like smoking a cigarette. And
Yeah, it makes sense. I just didn't know what smoke
the same
play
time?
really was.
Yeah. Have you ever done it?
I'm trying to think.
No. I've like
I'm
I
trying to
I've
think.
done it
I'm pretty
probably
sure I
too
have.
many
hit
times to
weed
not
and then
be-
like started
I've
making
smoked
out.
weed for sure while
Yeah.
having sex.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely done that.
100%.
But, like, there's something about it, like maybe I've done too many times at the point where I'm almost a trucker. I gotta get down to 405.
I don't agree with that notion at all.
I don't smoke cigarettes, so that sounds horrible.
Hey, you sound really lame.
Oh.
So we're gonna live really long.
Have fun in this future on the barren planet, you bitch.
Okay.
I will. All that land. That's fine with me. I don't like mowing the lawn anyway.
I'm gonna have to cut my head off and turn me into a talking head.
No, your lungs are gonna be on those TikToks. And how they're like, this is a damaged lung, and it's like a crinkled up brown piece of bag.
Oh, God.
And then,
oh my God. Oh.
So yeah, like being a dom has definitely opened my eyes, and I feel like I was like a 10% dom because I never even like went to his house because I was just so afraid. Like,
Dom-like.
yeah, exactly, dom-ish.
Dominique. That's pretty funny.
So for me, will I do it again? Yes, but like it's one of those things that this has to be like your life.
Yeah, but I think that like
You can't be like having a full-time job of doing this. Like this is your life.
I think that like you just need a different relationship dynamic.
What do you mean?
That personal setup may have been like more of his setup than your setup, and you got to find someone that fits in your setup. You know, you were trying to mold to his setup, and especially in that like kind of more dominant position, and like they got to mold to your setup, or otherwise they do become negative.
And you're 100% right. But when it's your first one, you don't know.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying that's the whole.
So for me, like before I met him, I would think I would be very happy to put hands on anybody.